Welcome back! This is going to be one of the most interesting stories that I've ever told you because it doesn't have an ending yet. Let me explain. I am literally being catfished right now. As we speak, I am talking to a person who is not the person that they say they are, and I have not yet let them know that I know that they're not a real person. Well, they are a real person, they're just not the person that they're pretending to be. Let me start from the beginning. So I've been spending some time on some dating apps. You? On dating apps? Nah. And the one dating app that I like to use a lot, which I don't even know why I like to use it because I've literally never met anybody from it. Or maybe I did one time. I did. He was boring. But this dating app that I use a lot started doing this thing where if you don't message the person you matched with within 24 hours, you lose the match and they disappear. So I'm like, I can't even answer a text within 24 hours. How the frick am I going to fall in love in that time? So I did what any rational person would do, and I went through all my matches and just sent them my phone number. That's super safe, I know. So within that day, I started getting a lot of texts from boys who were like, hey, it's Jake. Hey, it's Sam. And they're all saying their name. But then this one guy texts me and he just says, guess who? With the monkey emoji. And I was like, fuck, I can't tell this guy that I don't know who he is because then it's super obvious that I gave my number to a lot of people. But for some reason, I kept talking to him. Mind you, I'm not even responding to the people who I know who they are, but for this guy, I was really interested in everything he had to say. And we were just having this like really good conversation for a long time. I cannot figure out for the life of me who this person is. I'm like falling in love with this stranger, which is cool because I'm like, if we fall in love, this is great because I know it wasn't based on looks or anything other than our conversation. So I'm at a concert while we're falling in love and he asked me to send him some videos from the concert and I said, I'm posting them on Snapchat right now. You can watch them there. And he's like, oh, add me on Snapchat. This is my username. And I'm like, yes, great. His username was his first and last name, so I went to the dating site and then I matched it and then I found him and I saw him and I was like, this guy's really hot. I remembered seeing his profile the first time and I was like, oh my god, please message me. He didn't have that many pictures on his profile. So later that night I was like, hey, Snapchat me. He added me on Snapchat and he was like, I sent you some pictures. And I look at my Snapchat and I don't see them. So I was like, hey, I didn't get your snaps. That's so weird. And he was like, you didn't? And I was like, no, I'm getting a lot of other ones though, but I didn't get yours. And he was like, oh, no problem. I'll just send you the snaps here in our text message thread. And I was like, oh, okay. So anyway, we were having a good conversation. I go to bed, I wake up in the morning and I have to leave for New York. So I'm in the airport and I'm bored. So I decide to stalk him. So I find his Facebook. God, I'm making myself sound so scary. I find his Facebook and this guy's so cool. In 2012, he moved to Paris. In 2013, he moved to Thailand. In 2014, he lives in Barcelona. He's traveling here and there and he's surfing and he's on the beach and he has this amazing life that is just like unrealistically cool. But then I start really looking at it and I think that's really unlikely that somebody would live in so many different, I'm just gonna pull up his Facebook. So basically his page is travel to Tijuana, BC, travel to Portland, Oregon,
travel to Seattle, Washington, travel to Amsterdam, Netherlands, travel to Brussels, Belgium, travel to San Francisco, California, moved to Paris, travel to Irvine, California, travel to Melbourne, travel to Las Vegas, Nevada, travel to Sydney, travel to Thailand, moved to Kuta, travel to travel to Malaysia.
And it's just like, what are you doing? And then I realized he has all these really cool places that he's been, but none of them have any likes on it. I just feel like if you're a really cool guy that you would have friends who are invested in your life, I don't know. And every once in a while somebody would comment something like, you moved to Bali? That's awesome. And it's like, wouldn't your Facebook friends know if you were moving to Bali? And all of the comments are so generic. Then I got to this really adorable picture of a dog. And this girl comments, oh my gosh, smiley face, can we meet? So it seems that most of the people on his page don't actually have any idea who he is. And then I went through his profile pictures. Okay, let's be realistic. The first thing I did was go through his profile pictures and it just didn't seem right. And I was with a couple of my friends and they were like, Gabby, he's fake. And I was like, no, he's not. Let's Google him. So we start typing in his name to Google and his name autofilled after like 3 letters. So many people had searched this man that his name is a Google autofill. So his Twitter comes up and we click his Twitter and he has 8,000 Twitter followers and gets no favorites on his post. So at this point, it's pretty obvious that this guy is not who he says he is, but because I'm a lot lonelier than you think, I keep talking to him, just hoping that he might pull through as a real human being. I had faith. So I'm like, okay, let's make plans to meet up. We're having this amazing conversation. The next step would obviously be to meet, but he has an excuse for everything every time I try to meet. So I'm like, okay, let me FaceTime him. If he's real, surely he'll pick up a FaceTime call. So I FaceTime him and he denies me and he goes, had a long day at work, maybe tomorrow. And what's sick is I'm continuing to talk to this human because right now my only requirement for a guy is that he exists, whether it's as a catfish or not. No, I'm just kidding. I was just hoping that it would turn into a really good YouTube story. And it turned into a really average one. So what we learned from today's video is that I am both a stalker and very desperate. Still have faith that he's out there. We now interrupt you with breaking news. Oh my god. Update. This is literally right before I'm about to post this video. I'm adding this in and then I'm uploading it. As I was finishing up edits on this video, I was like, you know what? Let me just try one more time. Mind you, after I filmed the initial video, I continued talking to this boy. He continued to blow me off. He continued to ignore every FaceTime call. Every time I tried to FaceTime him, he had an excuse. And I'm like, this is absolutely textbook catfish. There's no way this guy is real. So I text him and I say, just to be clear, you're a catfish, right? And he was like, yep, I'm a catfish. And I was like, cool. Just making sure because I'm going to use your name and your photo for a video and I needed to make sure that you're not a real person who can sue me. But since you're a catfish, you'll have a hard time suing me since it's not you. And then he goes, no, wait, don't do that. It's me. Do you want to get drinks tomorrow? And I'm like, okay, yeah, I've heard this a million times. He makes so many plans, breaks so many plans. And I was like, no, sorry, I'm gonna post this video now. And then he FaceTimes me and he's a real person. It's him. I'm telling you, everything beginning to end was so catfish. Refusing to meet, making plans and breaking them, ignoring FaceTime calls, not wanting to talk, the obscenely cool life that just was unrealistically cool. It's all true. I saw him with my eyeballs on FaceTime. So the moral of the story is, he's not a catfish. He's just not very interested in me. We'll now return to regular programming. Anyways, thanks for watching me be a creep. Make sure you leave this video a thumbs up. If you're not subscribed already, please do that. And please leave in the comments below if you have any catfish stories. I think they're so amazing. If you want to be my showstopper of the week, just make sure you have my notifications turned on for YouTube, Twitter, Instagram, and Vine, and that you're interacting with me a lot. And also like my Facebook page, please. Okay, I'm done being thirsty. As always, I love you very much, and I'll see you next time.
Don't give up on your faith. Love comes to those who believe it, and that's the way it is.
Whether it's as a catfish